People put their lives in danger every day at work, whether they are driving a vehicle, working in construction, or flying a plane. But which occupations are the most hazardous? The fatality rate can be used to determine this. The mortality rate of a job is calculated by the number of deaths per 100,000 full-time workers, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This strategy assures that every profession, no matter how big or little, is accurately represented. Today we are going to talk about top 10 most dangerous job on earth. Before starting this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Number 10. Power lineman. A power lineman is a tradesperson who builds and maintains electric power transmission, telecommunications, cable, internet, and phone, and distribution lines. Electrically energized, live, and de-energized, dead, power lines are worked on by power linemen. They may install or replace distribution equipment such as capacitor banks, distribution transformers on poles, insulators, and fuses, among other activities related to electrical lines. Ropes, knots, and lifting equipment are among the responsibilities. These procedures may have to be completed with rudimentary manual tools if access is restricted. These kinds of situations are typical in remote or mountainous places where vehicles aren't allowed. Installing and maintaining overhead and subterranean power lines that bring electricity to homes and businesses is also the responsibility of power linemen. These personnel travel to job sites in power maintenance equipment, climb electrical poles or use bucket trucks, and test, install, or otherwise maintain electrical equipment. Electrocution is the most common cause of mortality for electricity linemen. Number 9. Firefighting supervisors. Supervising and organizing the work of firemen is the responsibility of firefighting supervisors. This work entails fire prevention and suppression. These supervisors' responsibilities include communicating with and dispatching trucks, assessing the size and condition of fires, training and evaluating firefighters, and maintaining firefighting equipment, among others. Traffic crashes are the most common cause of fatality on the job for firefighting supervisors, followed by flames and explosions. Number 8. Underwater welders. Normally, electricity and water don't mix, but for underwater welders, it's just another part of the job. Employees in this area work on pipelines, ships, dams, and other structures, and they are exposed to a variety of hazards, including explosions and differential pressure. A diver, for example, is at risk of drowning if he or she is stranded under a high-pressure water flow. While the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, does not keep track of fatalities in this industry, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, found that underwater welders die at a rate 40 times greater than the national average. It's worth noting that the study is more than 20 years old, and studies in this subject aren't updated very often due to the small population size. Find out about the odd jobs you never knew existed. Number 7. Logging workers. It should come as no surprise that logging employees had the greatest death rate, with 97.6 fatal work injuries per 100,000 workers, making logging the deadliest occupation in 2020. Contact with a machine, such as a heavy-duty power tool, or being struck by a log or falling tree, causes the majority of the injuries. Experts in the industry are still looking for ways to make logging workers safer, such as establishing safety measures and advising or requiring hard hats. Number 6. Ironworkers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, structural iron and steel workers are the 6th most dangerous job in the United States, with 25.1 fatalities per 100,000 workers. The majority of deaths in this industry are caused by falls, but cuts, muscle strains, broken bones, and burns are common injuries. Don't miss out on these 10 cool careers you probably didn't know existed. Installing iron and steel on buildings, bridges, and roadways is the job of ironworkers. Climbing up enormous structures, unloading iron and steel, and alerting crane operators are common tasks for them. They also employ cutting, bending, and welding tools to cut, bend, and weld iron and steel. Steel and iron are two of the most common reinforcing materials used in large structures. For structural iron and steel workers, falls are the most common fatal occupational accident. Number 5. Garbage collectors. Refuse and recyclable material collectors, often known as garbage collectors, gather our rubbish and recyclables. These workers will typically drive a truck through neighborhoods, emptying rubbish bins and dumpsters into the trucks. Many bins are loaded by hand, but mechanical lifters are used on some vehicles. The vehicles are subsequently driven to a landfill or a garbage transfer center, where the waste is unloaded. Being hit by a garbage truck or other vehicle is the most likely cause of death for these workers. Number 4. Roofers. Roofers are in charge of putting up, maintaining, and replacing roofs on houses and other structures. They are responsible for securing roofing materials such as shingles, metal, and other materials on roofs. Roofers must typically utilize ladders or other equipment to climb to the top of structures. Falling off roofs or ladders is the most common cause of fatal occupational injuries for roofers. Roofers roam about the tops of our houses and offices, so it's no surprise that they have the 4th highest rate of workplace fatalities, with the majority of them dying from falls. Between 1992 and 2009, falls from rooftops accounted for 1/3 of all fall-related construction fatalities. Number 3. Derrick operators in oil, gas, and mining. Transportation-related mishaps, as well as contact with objects and equipment, are the most common causes of death. These personnel put up, maintain, and operate the derrick and drill equipment that is used to extract oil and gas as well as mine for commodities. The drilling equipment is held in position by the derrick above a well as the drill rotates to displace the earth. Pumps for extracting oil or other resources from the well may be included in the derrick. The 2 major causes of fatality for these workers were transportation accidents and collision with objects and equipment. Number 2. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers. While commercial airline safety has improved in recent years, 75 aircraft navigators, including air taxis and rural pilots, perished in the United States in 2016. Many aircraft pilot and flight engineer deaths on the job are due to human mistake, as well as mechanical failure and bad weather. Pilots of aeroplanes, helicopters, and other forms of aircraft fly and steer them. Pilots are in charge of inspecting the state of aircraft before and after flights, ensuring that the aircraft is balanced, and arranging for fuel and flight plans. During flight, pilots also run the plane, communicate with air traffic control, and monitor the plane systems. Rather than on regularly scheduled commercial jet aircraft, the bulk of aircraft pilot fatalities occur in crashes of privately owned planes and helicopters. Number 1. Police officers. TV shows and movies may lead you to assume that officers have one of the most dangerous occupations on the planet, yet they don't even make the top 10 most dangerous employment in the country. However, police officers face one big difference and common risk on the job that most other occupations do not: murder. Homicide is rarely a cause of mortality in other industries, yet it is a cause of death for a portion of police officers each year. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, police officers were involved in 51 killings in 2016, up 50% from 34 fatalities in 2015. That's a wrap for today's video about top 10 most dangerous job on Earth. Hope you find this video helpful. What do you think about our list? Let us know in the comment section below. And make sure to hit the like button. And subscribe to our channel for more future updates.